We'll talk about a little bit Python, okay? Before going to talk about Python, what we do is we refer Python as a language. What do? We refer Python as a language. When was like first time learning Python, I had a question in my mind that if it is a language, then definitely people must speak in this language. Okay. So, yeah, that doubt led me to understand, okay, what actually is a Python, what type of language is Python, and why am I going to learn Python? Different aspects I got to know. And today, I want to share the same things with you. When we learn something, we should ask questions. Just okay, Python is a language. Oh, why Python is a language, but why it is a language? If it is a language, then why don't we speak into it? What kind of language it is? So we have to ask questions. If you'll ask this even a normal questions, you will be lead to a very basic, it very, you can say important answers. Okay. So Python is definitely a language, but why do we need a language? Let's talk about why do we need a language? We need a language for communication purpose. We need a language for communication purpose, whether it is a Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, German, Chinese, Mandarin, okay, Portuguese, English, Hindi, whatever it is. Any language is used for communication, even is a sign language. It is used for a communication. So communication, just when I say communication, word communication is not about verbal communication. Communication is a broader perspective, broader thing. In that what sign language, okay? In that what verbal languages, in that maybe another different kind of languages. So there are variety of languages, but every language purpose is a communication. What is communication? Why do we do communicate? Communication is nothing but what? Interacting with other entities. Interacting with other entities. Why do we interact? To transfer the knowledge, to transfer the emotions, to transfer the knowledge, transfer the emotion, transfer data, to transfer what? Information. We do communicate. Right now, we are in a communication. And the purpose of this communication, the very purpose of any communication is a transfer of thought, a transfer of what? Knowledge, transfer of data, information, emotions, ideas. Now, it depends like to whom you are going to what communicate this, to whom you are going to transfer it, to whom you are going to share it. It can be a human. It can be a human, it can be an animal, it can be a nobody. Okay. It can be a machine. Okay. It can be a robot. You might be transferring, you might be sharing your what? This data, information, knowledge kind of things to any entity. But on the basis of like, see, there are variety of languages. Then the basic question, then what if the Python is a language, then which people do speak in Python? Actually, we do not speak, we communicate. And communicate, the communication, these languages are divided, or you can say separated on the basis of, like predominantly in this world, we do use languages, okay, to communicate with human and to communicate with machines. To communicate with human and to communicate with machines. So to communicate with human, we do have languages like Telugu, Hindi, English, this kind of thousands of tons of languages are out there. Now, But if you want to communicate with what machine, if you want to communicate with machine, if you want to communicate with server, a robo, whatever it is, you need what? Human to machine languages. There are one type of languages, human to human languages. Second, human to machine languages. And Python comes under human to machine language. Okay, human to machine communication language. So Python, JavaScript, C, C++, C sharp, what, PHP, tons of languages. uh, we humans have no left one area without much options. Okay, and that is leading us to chaos. Okay, now if there is only English in this world, or only Tamil in this world, or only Hindi, or any language, only one language in this world, how great it would be, tell me. It would be very great, no? The whole world is connected. No proper, like, lot of people, they are great in the technical skills, they are great in some art, they are great in sports, but their communication, they don't know the language, and because of they are unable to get those opportunities. Same thing happened here also. Huh? Tomorrow, one person, you became an engineer, you become a very good person, and you developed your one language. Another person, so you, some people followed you, some people followed you. So here also now tons of languages are there. Now people are confused whether to learn Python, whether to learn Java, JavaScript, PHP, so many languages. So, but yes, every language has its some pros and cons when it comes to here. Okay, when it comes to here, and every language has its some pros and cons. But yes, all the languages do work 99% in a similar manner. 99% in a similar manner. Nothing difference. Hmm? So here we, our language Python is what type of language? Human to machine language. Why do we communicate? To share data, information, knowledge, ideas, feelings, and so many different things. Now, guys, let's understand, when we communicate with machine, you have to understand one thing. ఇప్పుడు నేను చైనీస్లో మాట్లాడతా, చైనీస్ అంటే మ్యాడ్రిడ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో, మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా? ఇది వేరే మ్యాటర్, నాకు కూడా రాదు. Even I don't know the Mandarin, but let's talk, okay, in a like that Chinese language. Both the both the entities, both the what humans has to be compatible. Okay, audience and orator both have to be compatible in that language. Then only communication is possible. మీరు ఇప్పుడు జాపనీస్లో మాట్లాడుతారు, నాకు అర్థం రావట్లేదు. What is the use of it? The same thing goes with the machines also. So machine also by default don't know any language. Machine also by default, let's say, don't know any language. Then what? There are tons of languages. Now you learned Python, but you forgot to install Python. You forgot to install Python in your laptop, and you are typing Python code. Python, it will show error. We don't recognize this anything. So what? Your computer also should know the Python. You also should know the Python. If you both know Python, then only you both can share the data. You both can do some operation. You both can do some what task there. You can write the programs and all. So let's understand little architecture. Little architecture, how when you communicate, when you type some code, okay, how that code will be what went to the last layer of the what, your machine, your server. What is it? Let's talk about. First one is no, every here. Here is your hardware, guys. What is there? Hardware. What are the different parts? Actually, we engineer do not worry. There are tons of hardware parts in the computer, okay? Microprocessors, so many different things. But we do worry about only three things. What? One is RAM, hard disk, and your CPU, processor. Okay, only three things: processor, hard disk, and RAM. Okay, so here these things are there. First one is what? CPU. Second one is what? Then your RAM, and then third one is your hard disk. Let's understand this thing. Upon this hardware actually do not understand your Python, do not understand your English, do not understand your Japanese, Java, any language. It do not understand. What it understands? It understands only electric power supply, electronic device. These are what? Electronic device. These are nothing but electronic devices, and they do not understand any language. They understand only what? Power on, power off, power on, power off. Ante. Okay. So we humans, again for our understanding, we said if power is on, it means one. What? Power is on, it means one. And power is off means zero. If you will see some old switches, no, these buttons, old one, down one, upside there is a zero, zero and one, you will find that. Okay, that is nothing but what? Binary, one and zero, power on, power off. So they understand that zero and one. Zero and one means, again people they think like zero and one. They understand zero. Computer do not understand zero and one also. That is number. Computer understand power and power off. But we human, we can't say power on, power off. We said okay, power on means one, power off means zero. Okay. So hardware understand only that power supply, power on, power off. And we denoted power on as a one, power off as a zero. Then computer understand, and we call that 0 and 1 binary. So this hardware now, let's say, understands binary. Hardware understands binary. Then we people don't know binary, because understanding 0 1 1 0 0 0 1, ain't much idea. 0 1 1 0, we are not robots, we are humans, huh? So always that was a problem, that initially a very small programs written in the machine language, okay, directly, very great people, but with that, building big applications, okay, building high functionality application was never possible. So we wanted a high level languages. What we wanted? High level languages which are human understandable, as well as where there is a possible, like it is like human understandable language. What is human understandable language? English. English is a human understandable language. We know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all. We know what, we know print, we know just, we know if, we know else. Okay, lot of words we know English. So people thought, let's type something in English only, but it will be converted into what? Binary. We have to have such mechanism. We will talk with the our machine in what? High level language, in a English like language. What is mean by high level language? English like language, same like English. What is mean by high level? English like language. We humans will speak with our hardware, our machine, in high level language, in English language. But what? It will be like translated, you can say, translated to binary. When our prime minister, if you have seen news, if you like to watch news, when our prime minister goes to Russia or Germany, Russian president don't know English much. Okay, so in between there is one nice, beautiful lady sitting, huh? Between both the prime ministers, and our prime minister is talking in Hindi. Okay, so she will translate it into Russian, and when that president, that whatever it is, okay, is talking in Russian, it will be translated into Hindi. So the professional word for those people is an interpreter. What do we say? Interpreter. Translator, okay, disrespecting. Interpreter అంటే కొంచెం professional గా ఉంటాం. So here hardware understands what? Binary. What it understands? Binary, isn't it? Your hardware understands binary. And here, now how you will actually communicate with? You need one application where you will write something, then you will press submit button, you will press enter button, whatever it is. Then what? It will be passed to the next. So we all know Notepad. All know Notepad application where we type a text. Okay, some text we type. That text ultimately going to hardware only, no, going into RAM, going into hard disk and all. So applications like Notepad, applications like Excel, applications like Word are called utility applications. What do we call? Utility applications. So here is a one utility application. Let's take example as a Notepad. Here is a Notepad. And in Notepad, what language you type? English, isn't it? So you are typing here English. English. Okay. Now, Notepad, you can type English or English like anything. Okay. So now English and binary. So here in between, we need a one mediator, one translator, one interpreter. Okay. So that interpreter, okay, is nothing but your operating system. What is it? Your operating system. Your operating system works as a mediator, you can say, or that interpreter, which will what? Translate, which will translate English into binary and binary into English. Because you also want to access the data. At that time, that data is saved here in the form of binary. Then what? When you ask, hey, show me the open the file, when we are opening the file, means you are accessing the data. At that time, the data which is saved here will go to OS, and from OS, it will come to the Notepad again. Okay. So you can see here what? English to English only here. Okay. After English, it will be what? With the help of CPU and all, it will be translated to binary. Same thing goes here. Okay. Again, binary to and binary to here with the help of it will be translated to English. Okay. So this is what the architecture is followed. Okay. This is what the architecture is followed in your computer. Now, let's understand. Now, but we are not writing a simple what? English. No, we are writing now Python code. Python is also, if I will show you Python, okay. This is called one VS code, okay, Visual Studio Code. And let's say I'm going to type here something what? Python code called print and what here? Hello world. Now tell me, this is a Python. This is Python. But here also I used A, B, C, D, P, R, I, N, T. Print is an English word. Hello is English word. World is English word. These are English what? You can say special characters. Everything is English. That is the reason we say it is a human understandable language. What is it? Human understandable language. So we call it is a Python language, but Python language is based upon English language. Okay. So to write this kind of Python code, now Python, but the formatting is different. Okay. Little formatting is different. So some extra operations are there. It's not simple English, no? Just what? Delete, save, update kind of things. More than that we are doing. So we want one kind of another software here. Okay, upon operating system, what? Upon operating system, that is called what? Here Python, guys. What do we call? Python. Now here you are what? Python. Here is your Python. Python is a software. which runs, which executes your code. Try to understand. Python is a software. Python is a what? Software. It is an application to execute the code. You can't write code inside the Python. You can't write code inside the Python. That is the what you are writing somewhere in a notepad, for example. What you are going to write? You are going to write your code in the notepad and you will execute that code. Then it will go to the Python software and Python will what? Execute it. Notepad cannot execute it. అర్థమైందా? So what? Only still you want something to write the code. Still you want something where you will write the code. That interface you need. So that interface, there are multiple n number of interfaces. You can use Visual Studio Code. You can use what? Notepad plus plus. You can use what? Jupyter. You can use Google Colab. You can use Anaconda. You can use PyCharm. Okay, you can use so many what utility applications are there. What are there? So many utility applications are there. Ardhamainda? So like this, we will be using one of the what utility application called VS Code, very famous one. And we will write the code in the Visual Studio Code. It will be transferred to Python and Python and OS will what? Convert it into binary and will saved, stored and updated into your hardware. Ardhamainda? Doubt unda? So one what we need now, Visual Studio Code, we need to download and install Python also. Okay, we need to download and install Python also. We need to download and install Visual Studio Code also. Okay, these two things we are going to do. But yes, we will do it later in tomorrow's session. But now what we are going to do is we will try to understand. Now you are going to write here code. I just wrote the code here. No, what? Print hello world. So print hello world actually is gone through what? First Visual Studio Code I write, then it went to Python. Python and operating system in collaboration, what? They converted into binary, they executed it, okay? And then what? Hardware. Now guys, let's understand. You are writing it in what? Python. You're writing it in Python, okay? Python, okay, language. You're writing the what code in a Python language. Now Python will be okay. So Python is a English like language. Python is a English like language. So English like languages are human understandable languages. What? Python is a English like language and English like languages are human understandable languages. And human understandable languages are called high level languages. What? Human understandable languages are called high level languages. And here comes the binary. Binary is not a human understandable language. Why? Because it is not in a English like language. If it is not in a English like language, humans cannot understand it. So that is the reason we call it as a low level language. What do we call? Low level language. Okay. This is low level language. What do we call? Low level language. And Python is a high level language. Okay. So low level languages are like a binary, machine language. High level languages are Python, Java, JavaScript, C, C++, so many languages. Okay. Which are written in English. Those are called what? High level languages. Now guys, you are writing code in a high level language, but what computer needs in a low level language. So what? You have a one copy, you have a, you first where you will write, you have to create one file. No, In that file you will write the code. So that file should be, okay, should be here. For example, I will write what example dot py file we should create, because what code we are writing? Python code. And Python code files should have an extension called .py. But what this .py file will be converted into again what? A binary. So this process will create a new one file again. That file will be called example.pyc. What? Example.pyc. Okay, Python compiled file. Okay, compiled file. Now what is compiled means? Compilation means converting high level language code into low level language code. Okay, so here you have written in hello world, but what pyc file will have 10001. Ardhaminda? So pyc. So what language then is our Python language? Is a compiler based language, compiled language, compiler based. Compiler means there is a mechanism, okay, there is a mechanism which will be converted into what? Converted into what? Compiled file. Okay, so converted into binary one. So actually Python is not compiler based. There are different types of languages. One is what? Python, sorry, languages can be compiled based, or languages can be interpreter based. What? Languages can be compiled based, or languages can be interpreter based. Now what language is Python? Python is not perfectly compiled based, even it is not perfectly interpreter based. Though some people, even 10-15 years of Python developers, they say Python is a interpreter based language, but that is not correct. Python is not fully what? Compiler based language. Python is not fully interpreter based. Python is a hybrid language. What is it? Hybrid language. Python is a hybrid language. What is mean by hybrid language? So Python is partially compiled and partially interpreter based. But sir, okay, what is compiled we understood, but what is interpreter? What is compiled we understood, but what is interpreter? So here I will write what is, okay, converting, okay, converting Python, okay, code on runtime, okay, on runtime into what? Compiled, okay, com into binary, okay, binary is called, okay, converting Python code on runtime into binary is called what? Compilation. Okay, compilation. So compilation is done by compiler. Okay, compiler. Compiler means a unit which is responsible to compile the code. Okay, which is here Python. Okay, Python. Inside a Python, PVM comes. What it comes? PVM, Python virtual machine. Okay, that small entity is responsible to do compilation, you can say. But what? Once you will be converted జావా లాంగ్వేజ్, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఈ కోడ్ రాసానంట. ఏ కోడ్ ఉంది? ప్రింట్ హలో వరల్డ్. ఇక్కడ నేను క్లిక్ చేసి రన్ అవుతుంది. ఈ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేసిన తర్వాత కోడ్ రన్ అవుతుంది. ఈ రన్ అవుతుంది కోడ్. అట్ దట్ టైమ్ వెన్ ఐ విల్ క్లిక్, ఇట్ విల్ క్రియేట్ ఎ న్యూ వన్ ఫైల్. What? .pyc file. And that .pyc file will be executed. అర్థమైందా? Not py file. .pyc file will be executed. So once again what will happen? So .pyc file created, we ran the code, we got the output. Again I will run the code. What will happen? Java, if it is a Java, again it will compile, and again it will what? Again, it will show the output. Again, okay. Again, if I will click, again, it will what? Compile. Again, it will run the code and all the time compiling. So Python said why to use all the time compilation. What we will do is say already you have a compiled file. What do you have? Already you have a compiled file. Why not to run that again and again? Then someone asks, if someone will change the file, for example, again here I will write a new line, print, wow. Okay. Ah, now, so what the Guido Van Rossum is a main person who developed the Python. Okay, the father of Python. He said, let's do one thing. Then what? This code is already compiled, no? Only we will compile this code only, this line of code. So no need to compile the whole file. Only compiling what? The newly added lines. Only compile the newly added lines and add it into the .pyc. Only the new changes which are made that will be compiled on, and the remaining will be maintained as it is. So in this way, we are what? Utilizing our resources very wisely. So what this kind of behavior is called interpretation. Okay. So what the old code is again and again being used, that is called interpretation. But what new code is being translated, that is called compilation. So what Python is using partially compilation, partially interpretation. So we do call this kind of Python is a hybrid language. What do we say? Python is a hybrid language. Okay, now? If anyone asks what type of language is a Python, so Python is a high level language, Python is a hybrid language, and Python is a general purpose language. Okay, Python is a general purpose language. What is meant by general purpose? Yesterday's or first demo, I told you Python can be used inside data science, Python can be used inside AI/ML, Python can be used what? For software development, for automation script. Python can be used anywhere. If something can be used anywhere, that is general. General stores తెలుసు కదా. జనరల్ స్టోర్లో షాంపూ కూడా ఉంటుంది, షుగర్ ఉంటుంది, ఆయిల్ ఉంటుంది, క్యారీ బ్యాగ్ ఉంటుంది, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఈస్ నో, దట్ స్టోర్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఫర్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ప్రోడక్ట్. That product, that what store is for any general product. So Python is what? A general purpose language. A Python is a general purpose language, means it is not a special purpose language. So languages can be what? Separated on the basis of purpose also. So languages can be special purpose, languages can be general purpose. So Python is what? A general purpose language, because it can be used in multiple domains of IT for variety of different things, for variety of different tasks. అర్థమైందా? So what? Python, okay? Python is general purpose language. Python is a general purpose language. Then what? Python is a high level language. Then what? Python is hybrid language. Okay. So we understood what type of language is Python today. Okay. We understood what type of language is Python. So Python, guys, we will learn in depth. Okay. Tell me, a lot of people, they want to make career into IT, but they get scared of language. They get scared of programming. We do people say in IT, if you don't know programming language, then you are not IT. Even if you are owner of the IT company. Okay, you are not a engineer. You are not a engineer. You don't call yourself developer. You don't could call yourself what IT person. So what? It is just a pride thing. Okay, it is a pride thing. If you want to call yourself a proper IT person, then you must be good in at least one language. And at this moment, okay, in current year and for future, Python is the best language which can be used. I feel, see, what is the purpose of introducing Python language for ninth standard students? Government has introduced it because it shows that no matter whether tomorrow you are going to be a computer engineer or electric engineer or electronic engineer or arts person or what, a pharmacist or a medical person or banking person, whatever it is, everyone should know what one programming language, that is Python. Okay, why it is? Because in current, like, every field is open now. Every field you can see, in a construction field also now we are using machines which are trained to do plastering, to do coloring, to do this. Okay, now tell me, just plain computer science, just plain computer science might be good in programming, but until and unless you don't have a business intelligence, what, you don't have a business intelligence. For example, problems related to construction industry, problems related to construction industry can be what understood, can be what you can say experienced, and what more easily explained by civil engineer. Okay, so he knows what are the problems. But if that guy knows programming, he can come up with an ideas. Okay, he can come up with an idea. Okay, we do have such things. Why can't we have a such application? Why can't we have a such machine which can resolve this issue here? If tomorrow one pharmacist, okay, is coming up with new formula of medicine, okay, so he don't know how many permutation, because preparing one medicine, lot of permutation and combinations are there. Okay, 1 milligram, 1 m, so much of, okay, that proportions has to be matched. So for that, which proportion is the best? He might come up with a nice program, nice formulas. So in every field, art field, take art field also nowadays, lot of art is generated by now AI, very nice arts. And in coming years, what, everyone can become an artist if you have a creativity. Okay, if you have a proper creativity. So in between, now one person you have seen at our village, lot of old people, okay, they are very good in something, very very good. Okay, some people are good in calculations, might be, some people are good in something like related to vehicle things. Okay, he don't know anything, he never went to school, he never went to anywhere, but that person is good in that thing. So for such people also, tomorrow, okay, doesn't matter if you know that thing, you are good in it, and in tomorrow's world, okay, the programs, okay, the machines, okay, robots will do it for you. But you have to what, configure those robots, you have to tell them the robots. So that that age is going to come, that is not too far. We we will be the part of that. So everyone should know this language. And guys, I will tell you one thing. Yes, everyone wants a job. Job is a primary basic thing. We have responsibilities to live a one prideful life, to live a one what, respectful life. We need a job, we need money. That is one aspect of life. But always in your mind, live with one dream. Coming into this world is okay, but what, going with empty hand is not okay. You have to deliver something, you have to give something, and that can be given by you guys. Okay, ideas, just ideas. If you will walk on road, thousands of people give up 100 business ideas. Nowadays, no, everyone has business ideas, but they don't know how to do business. They don't have those guts. They don't have that skills. So get the skills, convert the ideas into proper one. So that can be done. Okay. So what, job is a thing, but come up with idea, okay, related to your fields, and what, try to make something out of it. So that's what, guys, in today's lecture we understood about Python. Tomorrow we'll start a very first chapter of Python called variables. Okay. And we will do some installations in your laptop. So please do bring your systems tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, guys. And every day, okay, later we'll ask to create the groups. And when you will become the part of groups, I will share the notes, everything into the groups. Okay. You don't have to prepare any notes. Okay. You don't have to prepare anything. You just what, look, watch here and do practice in your laptop. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending to this session, guys. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.